WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A routine traffic stop ends in a two-car collision and sends one of the cars crashing into a nearby house. Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Super Bowl Sunday. I'm Victoria Bailey. It happened just before 3 p.m. on the north side of Columbus. Columbus police pulled over a car near the Old Union Academy Elementary School. Assistant Police Chief Fred Shelton says his approaching officer smelled what he believed was marijuana. A police pursuit began after the suspects refused to step out of the car. The chase ended at the intersection of 15th Street and 11th Avenue North, where the suspects ran a stop sign and crashed into an oncoming car, sending that car into the house at 1128 15th Street North.
The vehicle the suspect was driving was flipped over. And was able to get the two suspects that was in that vehicle, a driver and a passenger, and both of them, they're pending charges on them.
Now, amazingly, no one involved in the accident sustained any serious injuries, and the suspects are in custody. Well, the search for a missing Columbus man has been called off. According to Columbus Police spokesperson Joe Dillon, 36-year-old Antoquan Marquette Harris called his mother this weekend to tell her that he was okay. Now, Dillon says the police don't have all the details, like where Harris is or what happened, but they are calling off the search. Columbus police have been looking for Harris since he was reported missing on January 31st by his employer, Corporate Dining Concepts. Now, Harris and a company van disappeared that day. The van was found abandoned by MHP outside of Waynesboro the next day. WCBI will update this story as more details become available. Well, it's wet this Super Bowl Sunday. Keith, what are we looking at out there?
Well, still some showers, even a few thunder showers out there right now. A live look in Columbus with our Alpha Insurance camera. You can see some of those raindrops on our camera lens and a few lightning strikes, recent lightning strikes over here west of Starkville. But for the most part, we just have some steady showers from west of Starkville down to Noxubee County, even into the Columbus area. This band of rain is gradually going to be shifting to the north. So if you are dry, like you are up there in Tupelo right now, you will see some rain most likely later tonight. We're around 50 degrees, but on the back side of the showers tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at low to mid 70s, but the rain should wrap up sometime by the late morning or early afternoon on Monday. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks a lot, Keith. Well, travelers and refugees from 7 countries targeted by President Donald Trump's travel ban are now arriving in the United States or rushing to airports to get here. A late-night appeals court decision upheld a temporary restraining order blocking the executive order from being enforced. And Wendy Gillette reports from New York.
There were happy reunions across the U.S. Sunday as travelers from the countries affected by President Trump's travel ban began arriving, including in Chicago.
All I wanted was just to see my wife and my daughter. This is one of the greatest moments, I think, since I came to this country.
Hours after the Department of Justice appealed a court order that temporarily halted the travel ban targeting 7 predominantly Muslim nations, an appellate court denied the request overnight. Sunday afternoon, President Trump tweeted, "I have instructed Homeland Security to check people coming into our country very carefully. The courts are making the job very difficult." And on Fox News, President Trump defended his travel ban to Bill O'Reilly.
I think it was very smooth. He had 109 people out of hundreds of thousands of travelers. And all we did was vet those people very, very carefully.
In Virginia, this Iraqi woman is finally back home after Mr. Trump's order kept her grounded.
Being banned over my parents' heritage was an unfair treatment.
And at New York's Kennedy Airport, a dozen advocacy groups and hundreds of volunteers are assisting travelers and their families.
Right now, people are able to get into the country, and so right now is when people who are trying to immigrate need to travel.
Here at JFK and at other airports around the country, those with visas from the 7 countries are entering the U.S. with no major problems reported.
This is what democracy looks like.
Protests over the travel ban continued Sunday from Houston to Canada, where 10,000 took to the streets. In New York, supporters of the president rallied outside Trump Tower. The case will extend into at least Monday, when another round of legal papers are due. Experts believe the Supreme Court will have the final say. Wendy Gillette for CBS News, New York.
Now, there is still some confusion at the airports over who will be allowed to fly. Some airlines are permitting those with now valid visas to board U.S.-bound flights, while others are not. Well, two civil rights history projects in Mississippi are receiving federal money. Republican U.S. Senator Thad Cochran and Roger Wicker announced a $500,000 grant for the Tallahatchie County Courthouse will help pay for installations of interactive displays and exhibits about the 1955 killing of black teenager Emmett Till and the trial of the two white men who were acquitted by an all-white jury. Now, the men later say in a magazine interview that they had abducted and killed the 14-year-old from Chicago. And recently, Carolyn Bryant, who testified that Emmett had grabbed her and verbally threatened her, confessed that wasn't true. Choctaw County NAACP member Nola Bryant says she hopes that doesn't cause more of a divide.
But we cannot allow that to cause us to bring about another racial divide movement. We have to understand that, and we're glad that that has come to the forefront, but it won't bring Emmett back. Nothing we do is going to bring his life back. But this is a time in our nation and in our country that we need to be about unity.
A $50,000 history grant will allow the Historic Natchez Foundation to research, interpret, and preserve civil rights history in Natchez and Adams County. Well, the celebration of Black history is well underway for the University of Mississippi. For month of February, the school has chock full of events highlighting the triumphs and struggles of African Americans throughout history. Now, the festivities began with an opening celebration in Fulton Chapel with a welcome from Katrina Caldwell, Vice Chancellor of Diversity and Inclusion. The opening ceremony also featured the University of Mississippi Gospel Choir. The kickoff keynote speaker was Judith Meredith.
While there was absolutely no talk in our home of white supremacy and segregation in America and the South, there was plenty of love and encouragement in my young years, so much so that I truly believed that I could be anything I wanted to be if I worked toward it, had good character, and loved God first and others as I love myself.
The Because of Them We Can campaign will address the University of Mississippi February 13th at 6 p.m. in Fulton Chapel as well. Now, admission is free, but you do need tickets. You can get them at the Ole Miss box office. Well, a Tupelo man makes it his mission to keep Hancock Park safe for neighborhood children. Over the last 6 years, community organizer Mac Turner has made efforts to upgrade the park on Monument Drive. Now, he's hoping to bring more attention to his efforts during the Black History Month by hosting peaceful walks along with other community events at the park. Well, coming up, the biggest sporting event of the year keeps one Starkville business rolling in the dough. We have that story coming up next. Welcome back. Well, you know it's the Super Bowl when the tailgating food comes to the house. And if some like taking the quick route to get their food, they usually turn to fast food restaurants for their viewing meals like hot dogs, burgers, and of course pizza. WCBI's Parker King went to Hungry Howie's in Starkville to get a little taste of what it's like during the dinner rush.
It's one of the busiest nights of the year for any restaurant with pizza. Whether you're picking it up or having it delivered, it's all hands on deck for restaurants like Hungry Howie's in Starkville.
So far, we just kind of picked up normal business, you know, dinner rush will get pretty heavy and then it'll slack off. But if it's like a game day, it'll be pretty steady throughout the whole length of the game and then afterwards.
And it's not particular to any specific resident because everyone watches the Super Bowl.
And you wanted the sesame seed crust?
With that kind of influx of people, shifts like this almost have to be run perfectly.
If everybody does their job and everybody knows where to work and go, it runs pretty smooth.
Smooth like a quick ride we went on to Mississippi State's campus. Our driver was happy to have a quick run because sometimes those orders can get big. All it takes is dialing a few numbers, a little bit of patience, the sign of a pen, and you've got your meal to watch one of the most watched sporting events in the world. In Starkville, Parker King, WCBI News.
Now, appetites do tend to come back after watching a big game like the Super Bowl. If you find yourself in that position, give your local pizza place a quick call for a couple slices. Well, the Suzuki String Ensemble is on a mission to perform at the prestigious Carnegie Hall this summer in New York. Saturday night, the ensemble held its first fundraiser of the year, Valentine's for Carnegie, in an effort to help them collect donations for their big trip. During the party benefit, there were live auctions, door prizes were given away, and the musical group even gave a live performance. The group's goal is to raise $50,000 for the upcoming summer trip.
This is one hurdle, and so we'll continue trying to do everything we can to make it possible for all our musicians to go. And we thank the community. We thank these wonderful people that came to our fundraiser, Valentine's for Carnegie. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts, and our musicians do, all of us.
Now, if you would like to make a donation to the group for their upcoming summer trip, head over to our website, WCBInews.com, for more information.
Weather-wise today, extensive cloud cover. We've had showers around this morning, now into the evening, and we have those showers for tomorrow, maybe some storms Tuesday. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some wet weather here across our viewing area right now. This is Noxubee County, Macon right there, Brooksville, some pretty good showers, also into central and northern parts of Pickens County, Alabama. As we go back to the north towards the city of Columbus, a little bit of a break in Columbus for you, but back to the westward, Starkville and Eupora, some pretty good downpours. There has been a little bit of thunder and lightning with that little complex right there. But for the most part, not really a lot of thunderstorm activity, just some pretty good downpours tonight as this wave of energy moves on through the region. This band of rain will gradually shift back to the north as we go throughout the course of the night. So if you are still dry, if you're watching Tupelo tonight, you will likely see some rain later tonight and tomorrow morning. But across our southern areas over the last 24 hours, 1 to 1.5 plus of new rainfall. And not so much farther north. We had some of those showers yesterday evening, and then they moved south, and they're going to move back to the north. But we all have the risk for more rain tonight, even into our Monday morning. Strong storms possible Tuesday. Warm weather will stay through Wednesday. So right now we are at 50 degrees in Columbus and Tupelo. Warmer air off to the south. That's coming back tomorrow. So once we get into the afternoon, we're talking low to mid 70s around here. Morning showers will give rise to a warmer and breezier type afternoon with lesser rain chances after the noon hour. That is our Monday, but you'll need the umbrellas just to be on the safe side, especially during the first half of the day. Low to mid 70s across northeast Mississippi and west Alabama. That's our city-by-city forecast for Monday. Unseasonably warm yet again. Here's Futurecast picking up on this activity by the morning commute. Maybe the northern counties the focus of the rain, and then by noon or shortly thereafter, things start to wind down. Just a warm type afternoon. Now Tuesday morning, see that complex right there? That could be strong, that could be severe with some wind energy zipping on through, and some of those storms could linger into Tuesday afternoon. Speaking of that wind energy, notice how these arrows get very colorful. That means we have very strong wind in the low levels of the atmosphere. Tuesday morning, right here at sunrise, that very strong wind could allow some strong storms to move on through, but notice how that wind pulls away Tuesday afternoon. So maybe the window of opportunity for these strong storms may be the first half of our Tuesday. We'll see how it all plays out. But high winds and hail, the main threats here. Can't rule out an isolated tornado in the setup, but overall, it looks like more of a wind-hail threat if we do see some storms. If is a big question here because that is still uncertain at this point Tuesday morning or perhaps even into Tuesday afternoon. We are warm through Wednesday, a lot of 70s here, and very mild at night, but we'll dip down to 52 Thursday, freezing Thursday night, 58 sunny on Friday, but back into the mid to upper 60s by next weekend.
Thanks a lot, Keith. Well, it's a Super Bowl for the ages. Patriots, Falcons. We have a full recap next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Super Bowl 51 had a lot of firsts on the line. The New England Patriots and Tom Brady looking to become the first 5-time champions. That would be the most ever. And Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and the Falcons, they're looking for their first title in franchise history. This one was an absolute classic. Let's go to the game. Patriots taking on the Falcons in Houston. Boy, I feel like you would have gone home after the first half. Here we'll start with Devontae Freeman. He's going to cut to the outside, As easy as going to cakewalk into the end zone. 7-0 Falcons here early on. Then even more from the Dirty Birds. Matt Ryan's going to drop back. He's going to find Austin Hooper. Great catch here for the touchdown. It's 14-0 Falcons. Patriots would go on a drive, making it look like, hey, I'm Tom Brady. I'm going to make something happen. He's inside the 25. He's going to get picked off by Robert Alford. Brady's going to, he misses the tackle, and Alford's going to take it all the way for 6. He's going to enjoy that moment. He's in the Super Bowl. They 21 skunked them. It's 21-0 Atlanta. New England would tack on a field goal. And here we go to the second half. Matt Ryan's going to drop back. He's going to find Taylor Gabriel for 50 yards. Gabriel's going to shake Malcolm Butler straight out of his shoes. That man needs some new cleats after that move. That would lead to this one. Matt Ryan, he's going to find Tevin Coleman open in the flat. Coleman's going to run right into the end zone. It's 28-3. Game over, right? Wrong. 28-12, Patriots put on a touchdown. Dante Hightower with the stack fumble. Patriots have it. Tom's like, the momentum's moving. Matt Ryan's like, this isn't happening. Brady's going to drop back. He's going to find Amendola in the flat. It's now 28-19. Patriots would get the 2-point, or they should say they would tack on the extra point. It's 28-20. More from New England. Look at this. Is the best cat. What do you even say about this cat? Look at this. It goes off the feet, and that's a catch. New England on the good side of an absolutely ridiculous catch in the Super Bowl. That would lead to this James White touchdown. It's now 28-26, a minute to go. Patriots, they need the 2-point, and they get it. Brady's going to find Amendola in for 2. It's now 28-28. Falcons blow a 25-point lead. We're going to the first overtime in Super Bowl history, and Brady just walks all over the Falcons like he's wearing new shoes on a Sunday or something. He's going to find Hogan here for about 20 yards. It's going to go all the way down inside the 5-yard line. And James White, this would be his 3rd touchdown on the game. And this would be it, folks. Patriots, he rumbles in. That's it, 6 points, game over. Falcons, they lose 34-28. Tom Brady wins his 5th Super Bowl ever. The Falcons, they joined the Warriors. The Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. Indians blew a 3-1 lead. And now the Falcons, they blew a 25-point lead. Patriots, they're your Super Bowl 51 winner. There's nothing more else for me to say. That's it. Coming up next in sports, Mississippi State's in action for Super Bowl Sunday. We've got a highlight from a great day at the Hump coming up next in sports. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here on Super Bowl Sunday. The senior class for the 5th-ranked Hail State Hoop Squad came into Sunday's game with 99 wins in their illustrious careers. Mississippi State going into a trap game in Super Bowl Sunday against a red-hot Missouri squad, but there would be no traps to be had. All thanks to the senior Dominique Dillingham. She's going to drain the corner triple here. She wasn't done there. She had 16 points in the first half. State led by 1 after 1. Second quarter we go. Points off turnover. This was the story of the day for State. Morgan Williams on the steal gets it to Katara Chapel for Toop and the harm. State rolling in this one. Dominique Dillingham, she's going to get the steal, find Morgan Williams. Williams is going to get it inside to Chinwe Okore, and that's the basket. State led by 9 at the half. Second half we go, more of the same. Great hustle here by Jasmine Holmes, gets the steal, leaves it for Brianna Richardson, who had 13 second half points. State going on a run, and back to Dillingham, the senior. She was money from the 3-point line. She's going to drain another one there. That's one of her 5 she hit today. Had a game-high 24 points. State led by 16 after